What's going on, everyone? My name is Brody, and I'm here to answer one of the age-old questions in tennis, and that is, how many tennis rackets do I actually need? And depending on your skill level and what level of play that you're at, changes the answer. So let me explain what I mean. If you're just starting into tennis, you're just getting into it, you've never really played before, or you've played like here and there, and you're finally going out to get your own personal racket, you just need one. There's no fancy thing you need to be doing. You just need one. Learn how to play, learn what the racket can do, learn what you can do with the racket, and then just go from there. If just starting with one racket and getting a really nice baseline for what you can actually do on the court with your racket and seeing how your game actually evolves as you go from beginner to intermediate level player, that's when you're okay having one racket. You're probably not playing that much, so your strings aren't going to go dead as quickly. Your racket most likely isn't going to be damaged. I know some of you may be throwing your racket here and there or just hitting it. I mean, you do you, but maybe not the best thing for it. I don't want you having to keep spending more money than you're already going to, but it happens sometimes. So then it's like, yeah. At this stage, beginner to intermediate, you really only need one because you're just learning everything. You don't need to throw yourself into the fire of trying to figure out all the different rackets and everything. Demo one, find one you like, pick it out, play with it. Simple as that. Easy, done, works every time. Now, once you start playing for a while and then you're playing a little bit of a higher level, whether that be club level, high level, high school varsity, college, any type of level, that's when you want to start getting into having two rackets rather than just one. Now the reason is because you've played for so long, having two rackets will allow you to make sure that if something happens to the first one, you have a backup ready. A lot of people, especially men, when they start adding a lot more topspin onto everything because of how their stroke is evolving and how they were taught, that's when they start to break string an extreme amount. And the thing is, if you break a string, you can't use the racket anymore. So having your backup racket with the exact same setup, which is the exact same racket, the exact same string, the exact same tension, the exact same grip size, everything, you can seamlessly transition into that racket so that you don't have to worry about finding someone else on your team or finding someone else that you know of that may have a racket. Because if you don't have a racket to play with, you just automatically lose. So there's no real reason to not have a second as a backup. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with having two rackets, but you want to make sure that they are two of the same. That point can't be stressed enough, because if you have two different rackets that require two different levels of play, then you're just wasting your time trying to play one way and then immediately play another way. When all in all, if you'd stuck to the first way, you probably would have had a higher chance of winning, because you didn't have to have a mental shift go off in your mind being like, oh, okay, now I have to play like this and readjust to everything. It's not fun. And it just doesn't tend to work out that well. So after that, you usually go up to 3 rackets. I will say this is just like a step above. 3 rackets, for most people, us mortal players, not necessarily the pros or people who are playing on a tour, whether it be the men's tour, the women's tour, the futures tour, or anything like that, 3 rackets is probably going to be the max that you need of the exact same racket. I highly doubt a lot of you are going to be breaking strings that fast, and if you are, you probably should consider switching to a different string, one that'll last longer. And I have done a video on some of the different types of strings on my channel previously, so check that one out if you are interested. But 3 rackets, same string, same tension, same everything. And that way you know that you're taken care of. You know you have a backup to the backup in case anything happens. I'm not saying that your racket's going to break. Sometimes they just do. Strings can break with you not knowing. Sometimes you're feeling like, oh, the tension's wrong on racket number 1, so you pull out racket number 2, you like that one. Or for some reason, racket number 3, it's the most fresh because you haven't played with it in a while and you just want to play with a new set of strings. Go right ahead. You've played long enough, you know what your game is, you know how you play. Having 3 rackets of the exact same thing, perfectly easy. Nothing's gonna stop you. Go for it. But like I said, you really only need 3 at the max, but for the beginners to intermediates, you only need 1. Figure out everything you do there with just 1 racket, how you play, what strings you like, what you need to do with a racket. Then as you advance forward into the intermediate to advanced level players, get 2, have your backup, especially if you're playing tournaments, because you don't want to go to a tournament where everyone else has 2 rackets, you have 1 and your string breaks, you're out of luck. Not fun. You wasted your money, you wasted your time, and you just let your opponent get a free pass into the next round. Not fun. And then after that, you're looking at 3 rackets in total. You really don't need anything more than that. Unless you're going on the professional level tour, then you can have more than that. You can have as many as you want because you're probably getting sponsored and they're just sending you rackets. So good for you. You've made it and sacrificed a lot, and you've made it to where you can get up to that level. Highly respect it. I am not there, so I just have quite a few around. At most, I've only ever had 3 of the exact same racket that I'm playing with because I don't need any more than that, and most people don't either. So if you like this video, if you got any value from it, leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel so that I know that people are actually receiving the message, and so that I can just help get rid of all of the, I'll just say all of the wrong and misinformation out there right now, because a lot of tennis people in the community, they say a lot of things, but they don't necessarily know everything that they're talking about. So I took it upon myself with this channel to make sure that I get rid of all of the misinformation out there so you actually know what's going on. So like I said, leave a comment down below if you have any more questions or if you just need anything so that I can help you as best as I can. Like the video and share it with a friend if you got value at it, or if you know someone who's struggling to figure out whether or not they need more rackets or just why they even need the specific amount of rackets that I've said. And as always, take care.